Hey, it's Tara with Reiki on the Run. Welcome to week 1 of this Mantra Monday series. This series is focused on and titled General Wellbeing. This week's mantra is, "It just is." It just is has been a lifesaver for me, and I am not exaggerating. This mantra is a great neutralizer. I think it's a good idea to start this series by leveling off in general. Sometimes we're all over the place vibrationally with really high highs and really low lows. And in order to raise and anchor a new higher vibration, it will be better to level out first. So, it just is. Knowing that things are just the way they are can be so freeing. A lot of times we immediately want to judge every situation and react to it. If it's horrible, we fret. If it's amazing, we squeal. We have to transcend this habit and work toward becoming detached and realizing things are just the way they are. Detached may sound awful, but it's not. Now, if there's a trauma in front of you that you can influence, then you should. But to hear about an event or something that has happened and there's nothing you can do to affect the outcome, getting entrenched in emotion is not going to help anyone, especially you. And you're the one I'm interested in, the one you should be most interested in. It's your time. And you can't give to others what you do not have, so it just is. It just is means things are just how they are, good or bad. They just are. No matter what we wish they were, they just are. Realizing this can be a great eye-opener. Understanding this to your core and letting it settle and become your norm is life-changing. When should you use this mantra? So saying this mantra when anything happens is good. Bad news, it just is. Great news, while you can marinate in the feeling, still it just is. We don't want to get so high with excitement that the next bit of unfavorable news is like a plunge off the deep dive. We want to level out no matter the situation. All is okay, it just is. From here we can build. Say this as often as you can this week, in response to specific situations and just in general. The more you say it or think it, the better it will work. Before we begin this mantra, let's hear a story quoted from Alan Watts' teachings. It's called The Story of the Chinese Farmer. Once upon a time, there was a Chinese farmer whose horse ran away. That evening, all his neighbors came around to commiserate. They said, "We are so sorry to hear your horse was run away. This is most unfortunate." The farmer said, "Maybe." The next day, the horse came back, bringing 7 wild horses with it. And in the evening, everybody came back and said, "Oh, isn't that lucky? What a great turn of events. You now have 8 horses." The farmer again said, "Maybe." The following day, his son tried to break one of the horses, and while riding it, he was thrown and broke his leg. The neighbors then said, "Oh dear, that's too bad." And the farmer responded, "Maybe." The next day, the conscription officers came around to conscript people into the army, and they rejected his son because he had a broken leg. Again, all the neighbors came around and said, "Isn't that great?" Again, he said, "Maybe." The whole process of nature is an integrated process of immense complexity, and it's really impossible to tell whether anything that happens in it is good or bad, because you never know what will be the consequence of the misfortune, or you never know what will be the consequences of good fortune. With that, we'll start the mantra. Now would be a good time to pause the video if you need to get situated. So let's take 3 full, deep breaths. It just is. 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 We are complete. Namaste.